Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. Okay, just carrying on every day, a little bit more, reviewing and confirming. Okay, now today an important facet. When we set up, and I'll try and get dead on today to the camera somehow. When we set up to the ball here, and we've got this relationship here, now guys, that's really important because we need to be able to sort of take the club this way. Now in taking the club away from the ball, I get here and I usually just push that lead shoulder like that, which actually activates the hands and just pushes it straight backwards in a straight line. But what you can do after you've set yourself up, and guys, now I've basically got my, let's go over here a bit. That should be dead on. Now guys, when I'm here, I've set up and I'm here, this foot comes up to wherever it wants to be. At the moment it's square a little bit in a conventional sense, closed stance, so bring it up wherever you want it to be. Just maintain the closed shoulders and the back position ball, and you will have worked out whatever differential you want in your aiming. Now guys, remember, if the ball is going left, the shoulders are opening. If you're right-handed, if the ball's going that way, left of the target line, your shoulders are opening. That's that. You can't go left of the target line if the shoulders remain closed. Just can't do that. So that's one of the things that you've got to look at. Now taking the club back, when we're here, you can motivate it with your shoulders, or ignition, move it with your shoulders, or you can just turn your trail hip. Just turn your trail hip as much as you want. That'll give you a fuller turn. That'll give you a fuller body turn. Give you very much a fuller body turn. Now what I found in doing that was that it gave me about another 20 yards with the driver. It really does coil up the body for me. Well, it turns up the body. Here. There. Oh. And get it way back there. So guys, just try that. You can either use that lead shoulder there as your ignition move here, or in conjunction with that. Just turn that trail hip. See how it brings his knee across? Now it doesn't matter what happens with the lead side. It's just a resultant and a responder to what the trail side is doing. So don't worry about what it does. But I got to tell you, when I really do key in on turning that trail hip, whew, talk about turbo time, really gives me some power. Again guys, no hits, just step up. And what I was saying in a couple of responses is that this swing for me has become automatic. It's just like selecting drive in your car and just driving off. The gears are going to change by themselves. So this is basically a select-o-matic, an automatic selection. That once you start and set up your protocol, you know that the golf swing is going to be a victim of that protocol. The club is going to be locked in the geometry of that protocol. That's as simplistically as I can explain it. But once you get it set up, and if anybody that's struggling with it now, guys, I can tell you categorically that you're only struggling because you're not applying the protocol as it's designed to be applied. Now I can understand that, because to understand the protocol from a verbal and just a visual instruction, one-dimensional type situation that you get on a video, it's not easy to grasp what I want you to do. But if I could physically grab hold of you and put you in position and set you up in the protocol, I can guarantee 100% that everybody I do that to and get the protocol applied correctly, that they will hit the ball as the protocol is designed to hit the ball. No question, 100% result. So if you're struggling with it, guys, it's only because you're not applying the protocol as it's designed to be applied. And that's not a criticism of whoever's doing that, because it's just difficult to understand it, because it's only one-dimensional here, and it's very difficult to understand, you know, the realities of the alignment and that type of thing. But I will get better at that. And commercially, when Channel Lock goes commercial, of course it will have, you know, mats and all types of things associated with it, just to give you how to set the protocol up. A bit like those old Count Yogi maps years back. So guys, with it here, and I look on a lot of my videos, and it looks like the ball's way forward on some of the videos, but guys, it's only because I'm so bad at staying in the same place in front of the camera, and that's just my outlook on shots. I never stay in the same place, and I never hit the ball to the same place. I'm always moving around, my brain is active, and it's targeting, you know, new selections of targets, and I just do that. I mean, because that's what I do on the golf course, and I'm just geared for that, you know, biomechanically and neurologically. I'm just designed to look for a target. So, you know, and really, if I just stood here in exactly the same position all the time, I'd be locked into the same target. Don't want to do that, because I don't do that on the golf course. So a lot of the times the ball looks like it's not back, but I can assure you guys it's back every time. But I'll try and get it dead square on here. That's where it's supposed to be. Now that take back, guys, can be that shoulder, or it can be that hip. Wow, first shot of the day, guys, and I've been doing that basically for the last, well, I never hit any shots normally before I come on camera anyway. But that's just a perfect golf shot. That's gone exactly, precisely where I wanted it to go. And you know why I went there, guys? Because I applied the protocol. It's non-negotiable. The ball doesn't have any options. It has to comply with the protocol and the geometry. It's a victim of the protocol. It has to go there because the protocol dictates it has to go there. It can't go anywhere else. And that is not an over-exaggeration, guys. You apply this protocol and anybody can apply it. So anybody that says I can't swing like that, it's only initially because you're not really locked into the protocol correctly. But I promise you guys, when you do get locked into it, you'll swing it just as effectively and efficiently as I do. And it won't be any different. The only difference between me and you is I'm applying the protocol verbatim. Well, they're two perfect golf shots. I mean, yeah, look at the contact. Fifth and sixth groove, just perfect. Dead cold golf swing. And that's the beauty of this golf swing, guys. This is the beauty of this golf swing. You never have to worry when you go on the tee. Or where am I going to hit this? What do I do? How do I get in position? You just apply the protocol. It's just set up by the numbers. You set the numbers in place and you're going to hit the ball the same every time. And I made a comment this morning on the channel, my channel, and when I replied to one of the posts, that this swing is an infallible golf swing. You set it up correctly, it's infallible. It can't break down. Now, someone also mentioned that path and face and what TrackMaster says, TrackMan says about, you know, that the face of the angle of the club, direction of the club, is 70% influential relative to the path. Well, I don't find that in this golf swing. So there's an overriding factor in here dynamically that doesn't apply itself to the principles of conventional golf swings. And I must say, guys, whenever I've been around a robot, and I've been around plenty of times, hit thousands of shots, proper Iron Byron, whenever we've set the robot up, angled to the right with closed club face, the ball always starts right and then comes back. It never starts left and left. It starts right on the path and then comes back relative to the face. Now that's happened every time I've been around a robot. And conversely, the same path across with an open club face, it just goes to the left and then cuts back. And it's done that every time I've ever been around a robot and watched the shots. And I've had the guy set the robot up for me relative to my instructions. And it's just, you know, I know people talk about D-plane and all that sort of stuff, hitting draws off open club faces, all that type of stuff. Well, I haven't seen it on the robot. I've never seen it happen on the robot. So guys, whatever TrackMan says might be okay for conventional golf, but with this golf swing, this overrides everything. This ball will always start to the right of your target line, a little bit. It'll always do that. I haven't had one that goes left. Okay, you could get to this to a point where, here I am here, if I shut the face down 45 degrees and I swing into out, it's going to go over here. But that's preposterous. You can do anything that you want to do. But everything being equal, and you setting up, you know, as you should, with a square or slightly open club face, or even a slightly closed club face, you're not going to get the graphic change of direction of the golf course relative to the path. I say you can do anything if you want to, but I haven't found that that's happened yet, because I haven't done that in such a dramatic fashion yet. So here we go, guys. That lead shoulder. Now what's interesting, the more I push this across here, the more it brings this foot up. Just let it come up. After you've set yourself, just let it come up. And one of the guys today said that he just hits it 45 degrees right when he sets up like this. Well, you must be set up dead square. And you will hit it 45 degrees right. I would hit it 45 degrees right. If I didn't compensate, if I didn't compensate, if I went like this, if I just set up 90 degrees to the line like that and didn't do my compensatory, there it is, 45 degrees right, straight over there. So what I would say to that poster, or that query or comment, is that if you're hitting it 45 degrees right, if you set up here and the ball's going straight out there, don't change any of this. Just bring all this around to here. That's the simplicity, guys. If it's going straight out there, just bring all this around here. But don't change it. Don't change that, just bring it around to here. That's the simplicity of it. If it's going straight right and it's going straight right, you're just not, you haven't got that angularity worked out, that compensating factor worked out yet. Just move it around. That's the simplicity. Don't change it, just move it around. Very windy again here today, guys. So here we are. But now, guys, there's 3 golf shots that are, you know, they finished up in like 10-foot circle. They're not going to move. As I say, the protocol just completely captures the golf ball. The golf ball can't do anything other than what the protocol dictates. Now I keep hammering this, hammering, but I'll tell you guys, and there will be not one player that I could not take, put in position, work them through the protocol and get them to hit the ball perfectly on the line that the protocol dictates. Just nobody. I just know it. Because the protocol and the geometry is infallible. Can't hit it better than that. Wow. Wow. Absolutely double wow. And I love it, guys. I mean, I just, you know, like, I've always had my periods like everybody else in their golfing life. We've all had periods where we hit it great, and the next day we can't hit our hat. I remember Nicholas in Florida. I heard him talking to some guys over there in Florida years and years ago, and he just set a course, a tournament record on the Sunday, and he was at a corporate day on the Monday, and he went out to do an exhibition, and he said to the guys, I couldn't hit my hat. I just couldn't hit my hat. That was his comment. I couldn't hit my hat. He said it was embarrassing. He said one day after winning a tournament, setting a record, couldn't hit my hat the next day, 24 hours later. And guys, that's what happens even to the greatest players in the world. That US Open that Hogan lost to Palmer when he needed to birdie the last hole with water all down the left. You know, there was a man that said he had total control over a golf swing. Flat hooked it into the water and took a triple bogey. And he had to birdie to get in the playoff and win a record number of US Opens. Now that was probably the greatest control golf swing in history. But it's going to break down. Hogan hit his share of shots left. Nicklaus hit his share of shots left. Seve, everybody, because of forward ball position. But you cannot hit the ball left with this protocol. It doesn't happen. Yeah, so Nicklaus set a course record and 24 hours later couldn't hit his hat. So what does that tell you about a conventional golf swing? So here we go, guys. So here, now I'm going to turn my buttock. Get here and then just turn my buttock. I'm turning that so much I'm feeling that lead foot do this. When I do that, I'm feeling this lead foot want to get dragged across. So if you're turning that buttock aggressively enough, you'll feel some load on that lead foot. Feels fantastic. And it's good for the timing because it takes longer. They're just perfect golf shots. They're just absolutely perfect flighted golf shots. And to be able to wake up every day and say, I've got a golf swing. Let's go and play golf. I don't have to worry about my golf swing. I just want to go and play golf. That's all I want to do. I just want to go and play golf. To worry about this. Because this is going to take care of itself. And see this little thing here I do here, guys? I call this crossover. I'm putting the club here and I'm putting my foot here and then I'm crossing over the club. There's my foot and I'm crossing the club over it. That's how I set my protocol up. I call that a crossover. Here. That's what I call a crossover. And that just sets me in position and that sets off the sequence of the protocol. That sets it off. There's the crossover right there. They're just exactly like their little 2-yard draw golf shots. And we got a pretty strong left to right wind there, and it's just drawing the ball back into the wind. Do I feel a predominance here? Yeah, sure I do. I still get plenty of, you know, hip turn and weight transfer. It still goes forward, but I feel like it's here. That I'm just firing it around that trail axis. Okay guys, they're just a couple of little things. I'm going to come back in a moment and do a video basically just on the driver. And we'll hit some shots down range and hopefully we can see it today. I'll get right in front of the camera. I worked out yesterday what I was doing wrong. But we'll get it in position. Okay guys, I'll be back.